Hey, good afternoon, you guys, and welcome back to Realty Rides. Today is a beautiful day here on Whidbey Island. The rain has stopped, the sun's coming out, and our gorgeous, beautiful little farmland and little meadows here in front of a cool old barn. It's just beckoning a motorcycle ride. And today we're going to be profiling our 2007 Harley-Davidson with our trusty little sidecar we call Rosie. So like I was telling you guys, this is our 2007. This is a 1200cc Harley-Davidson Sportster. And it's a stock bike that has a aftermarket sidecar bolted onto it. So we bought this bike a few years back, and the reason why we purchased it, because my wife doesn't like to ride on conventional bikes, but she does want to be part of the motorcycle scene. So we bought this one for her, and we call it Rosie because my wife's name is Roseanne. So Rosie is a wonderful motorcycle. And I had to really learn how to ride this thing, so I'm going to show you guys today from an owner's perspective on how to ride this type of bike. First off, the bike is attached to the sidecar with a series of brackets and heavy-duty bolts. So you got an attached point right here, an attached point right here that's got a cross member that goes across the frame of the bike, and then you have the same attached points on the back of the bike, right there where the shock absorber is, and then right down below on the bottom of the frame attached to the sidecar again. The sidecar itself has a lot of room. It's room for one person, but you can also put a lot of luggage in here, and I take it to go shopping when I need to go off the island, especially in the summertime when the lines here can sometimes exceed 2 hours and 2 miles long. I take the sidecar because motorcycles are allowed on and off the ferry before cars, and so this thing obviously is a motorcycle, so I'm able to bypass the long lines, get into the ferry, and be home in a couple hours with all my groceries. It's a wonderful machine to use. It's very utilitarian, plus it looks really cool. So sidecar motorcycles are nothing new. They've been around for decades. In World War II, the American forces and the Allied forces used them primarily with old Harley-Davidson flatheads that were attached to sidecars, and as well as the European military was using them as well. And the Russian army today uses what's called the Ural, U-R-A-L, brand motorcycle with a sidecar, and they continue to build them to this day. And as well as BMW. BMW also has sidecar bikes, which I will show you guys in the link in the description down below. But this is a Harley-Davidson, and this is an aftermarket sidecar, which offhand I don't know what the brand is, but I will find out, and I will put it in the description above in text and let you guys know. But what's it like to ride? Is it hard? Is it difficult? Is it easy? Is it safer than a motorcycle? Well, we're going to find out just in a few minutes. So we're going to begin our little lesson here in a parking lot right here near the ferry dock on Whidbey Island. It would be the best, safest way for me to show you how to kind of ride this bike. And there's one of our ferries about ready to leave. Alright guys, so before we get going here, I'm going to just show you really quickly. The sidecar is empty. If you have passengers in there, it will definitely, make the sidecar operate, or actually make the motorcycle operate a little bit differently, because you're going to have weight in there, and that will help you with the balancing of the turning left and right, and also accelerating. But right now we have an empty sidecar, so the bike is not, it's a lot lighter, of course, and will require different type of movements from my part in order to get it running properly. Alright, so first things first, if the audio doesn't come in very well because it's kind of windy right now, then I'll definitely put this in a voiceover so you can understand what I'm talking about as we're riding. Okay, so we're in a parking lot, and we're operating the motorcycle like a conventional bike. This is a 5-speed Harley-Davidson Sportster. The controls are exactly the same as if you were on a regular motorcycle, but now you notice on this bike, on this sidecar variant, you don't lean into a turn, and you basically turn as if you're turning a car. So I'm turning right, which is the most vulnerable turn with a sidecar, because again, you're turning towards the sidecar, and the car can lift if you have a light load in it, and the wheel can come off the ground. So I'm making a left turn here, conventional left turn, Again, I'm not leaning into the bike like a regular bike. I'm turning left as if I was driving a car. But because I'm turning away from the sidecar, the wheel of the sidecar acts as a balance for me, and it's really easy to turn left with the sidecar attached. So here I am going down the hill here. I'm in first gear. I'm going 10 miles per hour, making another left turn. So it's really easy for me to make a left turn. I'm not leaning into the bike. I'm just turning it. But now I'm going to give it a little bit more power, and now I'm going to go to the right. Now the right requires a little bit more technique. So what I do is, because the sidecar is light, I'm very carefully feathering the throttle, as if not to get this too much torque where the wheel will go off the ground. So I'm making another right turn here, going downhill slightly, applying a little bit of brake, and it requires forearm strength in order to do this, because once again, you're not leaning into it, you're just turning it. So again, right turn. I'm going to make another real fast left turn here. And again, it's an easy turn to the left. And in the training, when you get a sidecar endorsement, by the way, you have to have a motorcycle endorsement in order to ride one of these, and then you need an additional endorsement to ride a three-wheel bike. It's the same endorsement that as if you were to get a Can-Am sidecar bike or another of these type of hybrid motorcycles that are available right now. So I'm going to be making a left turn, easy, but now I'm going to be making a right turn. Another thing to be cautious about when you're riding a bike like this on the street is the parked cars. Here's a good example of this little car right here. If I'm driving along the street and I'm driving along a parked car, the driver in the car may see you in his rearview mirror as a motorcycle and not see the sidecar, and if he opens the door, the sidecar will hit the guy and the car and the passenger that's inside the sidecar. So you're going to be very, very careful when you're driving a sidecar along the road with parked cars, because even though they may see your lights, they think it's just a motorcycle, and they don't see that you have an attached little pod next to it with wheels, and they open the door. It can be very, very tragic. So you got to be very careful and cognizant when you're riding down the street with one of these bikes. Okay, so I made a series of turns. I'm making a right turn again. I can feel the wheel lifting off just a little bit. But let's get onto the street now and see what the bike performs like on a regular road. So to review, the sidecar bike is not a difficult machine to operate. It just requires extra attention because of the extra weight allowances that will determine how it will handle. The right turn just needs to be done with vigilance, especially when carrying a passenger. Unlike a conventional motorcycle, the sidecar handlebar just turns left and right, requiring more forearm motion and strength, and does not lean like a normal bike. The advantages of a motorcycle with a sidecar attached are many, with stability the most obvious one. At full speed, the bike handles just like a regular motorcycle and feels very grounded. All the passengers I have carried love the comfort, excitement, and the feeling of added safety when rolling along in their own little pod with wheels. But if you're going to invest in a three-wheel motorcycle like a sidecar, trike, slingshot, or a Can-Am, make sure you get the proper training and legal endorsements. Like any motorcycle on the road, there's always an element of risk and danger, so be trained and prepared and ride confident, and most of all, have fun. So right on cue, it started to rain and my right mirror broke, which allowed me to show how well a three-wheel bike can handle even with little tech failures. Just like a car, it felt planted and secure and did not slide back and forth like a normal motorcycle can do when riding over wet pavement. It felt great being in the elements with the wind and rain and feeling alive. I hope you enjoyed this little review and tutorial on the iconic Harley-Davidson Sidecar Sportster and found it to be informative, useful, and entertaining. Like all of our rides, they are meant to be driven, ridden, and soon to be flown and sailed. Thanks again for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys on the next ride.